Selamat datang di Jalan2Cuap2. Sekarang saya masih di Nongsa Point Marina Resort. Ada satu hal nih yang menarik perhatian saya, yaitu sebuah kapal kayu yang konon usianya sudah 125 tahun. Kapal yang baru bersandar di Batam Sabtu Minggu ini sudah berkeliling Indonesia selama 12 tahun. Pemiliknya adalah Sen dan Maggie, pasangan suami istri yang memutuskan untuk menghabiskan sisa hidupnya di atas kapal. Kapal-kapal ini juga memiliki misi kemanusiaan. Mereka mendistribusikan keperluan kesehatan serta pendidikan di Indonesia bagian timur serta Timur Leste. Siang itu, Sen banyak berkisah ya tentang mengapa sih dia memilih jalan hidup ini. Salah satunya yang menginspirasi dia adalah kejadian tsunami di Aceh 12 tahun yang lalu. Ketika sedang berkeliling dunia bersama sang istri, Sen mendengar tsunami di Aceh. Dan akhirnya mereka memutar haluan kapal menuju Banda Aceh untuk mendistribusikan bantuan. Sejak saat itu, Sen dan istrinya lebih banyak berlayar di perairan Indonesia untuk kegiatan kemanusiaan. Dari perjalanan ini, Sen telah menerbitkan 4 buah judul buku. Wah, seru ya perjalanan yang dicatat seperti ini. Kapal yang dibuat di Norwegia dan dulunya digunakan sebagai kapal ekspedisi ini kondisinya masih sangat rawat. Dan Sen bilang untuk membuat kapal menjadi kondisinya seperti ini dibutuhkan usaha yang kuat ya dan perbaikan di sana-sini. Meski Nongsa Point Marina dipenuhi kapal-kapal modern, tetapi pesona Vessel Vega memang tidak bisa diabaikan ya, karena kapal tua ini ternyata mengundang perhatian banyak orang. Penasaran dengan kisah Vessel Vega lebih lanjut? Simak ya interview bersama Sen setelah yang satu ini.
Last 12 years, ever since the big tsunami, we've been delivering roughly 18 to 20 tons of new educational and medical supplies to the very small islands out in eastern Indonesia and East Timor, Tim-Tim.
Tim-Tim, okay.
We concentrate on the very small islands, which have sort of fallen through the cracks, places that the government hasn't quite reached yet. And the nice thing is, every year for the past 12 years we see an improvement, we see things get better. We see the government reaching further, doing a better job, reaching out to more people. Hopefully one day there just won't be any islands where we can go and we can put the anchor someplace nice like this and relax. Yeah, I don't know. The boat was built in 1892 in Norway.
Oh, Norway.
It was specifically built to carry heavy cargo of bricks, building stones, cement, pig iron, engines, generators, heavy things that most wooden boats wouldn't want to go near in the North Sea.
So how did you can find this kind of boat?
Not very easily. There are
Can
not
you
many
tell us the story?
like this one. There are no others. It's the last one. We found the boat in the Canary Islands and then brought it around via Brazil, South Africa.
What year?
2001.
2001 in Canary Islands.
Yeah, we found it in the Canary Islands in 2001.
You directly buy this boat or?
Yes. Fortunately, the man who owned it, well, fortunately for us, not for him, but the man who owned it was gambling on the stock market and didn't quite work, and he needed cash very fast, and we had a little bit of money, not a lot, but we were the only ones that had actual cash. But it was nothing like what you see now. When we got the boat, it was a cargo boat. It was just an empty hull. Most of the rigging wasn't there, none of the internal systems.
So how long you spend for all fix all the things?
Oh, we're still working on things. We're still working on something every day. It's,
Do you mention how much you spend for the
I have no idea.
Oh.
I have no idea because it's something that happens every day, and also because many of our supporters, if something breaks, they help us with that. So we don't actually know what it costs. We just had to replace a gearbox, and ZF, who manufactures those gearbox, donated one to us. So we really don't know what it would cost. It's we don't have a lot of money. It's not some big organization. It's not some fancy thing with companies throwing money at us and government ministries and that. It's just a large group of friends who want to help other people, and they want to know that if they reach in their pocket and they donate something, that it really does go to the people that need it, that it doesn't go to buy a new Land Cruiser or fancy rigging or something like that. We really do concentrate on doing the job.
So in every part of the boat, how many percent is the original?
It's impossible to know. It's really impossible to know because the reason a wooden boat can live so long is that if a piece goes bad, you change it. If a piece of wood gets bad, you put a new one. So it's a constant cycle. I'm sure there are some original pieces, but who knows where? Who knows what they are? This mast, for example, came out of a boat that was older than this one. The main mast. It was taken.
You see, we saw the cannon there.
Yeah.
Is originally come from the boat or
No.
you take from other?
No. Excuse me. The little cannon is an original Portuguese cannon that was found around Aru Island by some local divers. The people from Aru that were diving for, I believe they were diving for pearls, and they found the cannon. And because they do a lot of things with another friend of ours in the Banda Islands who knew we were looking for a cannon like that, so he said, "Oh, I want that, I'll have that." Took it back to Banda, and then when we came this year, he said, "I have something for you," which was great.
So you reach Batam, and then how long you stay here?
Until a little bit after the end of the month.
So what's your planning after Batam?
After that, we go north. We'll probably stop in Singapore for about 10 days. Then we go from there. We go to the boatyard, which is in Thailand. Then we'll stop in Langkawi for a day or two.
Next month, or you plan?
Next month. Next month.
You're leaving Batam then.
And then we do the boatyard. We relax a little bit for a week or so. Then we start coming south and we start gathering together supplies because we have supporters all through this region. And right now there are people who are gathering supplies together from others that we
So only to you and your wife. Any other person?
Oh, well, there's three actually. Lucas is a volunteer. He's around here somewhere. I think he's up the mast now.
Who is he? Is traveler?
He's a volunteer.
Oh.
Most of our crew are volunteer. We're always looking for Indonesian crew that want to get experience on sailing.
Kru tapi volunteer. Siapa yang mau?
It's all volunteer.
Dia mau ke shore ke Thailand dan sebagainya.
Yeah. We're always looking for Indonesian crew. For many reasons, but one is that we just happen to like Indonesia. We happen to like Indonesians. Very, very friendly, outgoing, hospitable people. Easy to work with in many ways. And plus it's nice, it's nice that someone young gets a chance to see the rest of their country and learn quite a bit on a boat like this, how to be self-reliant. You learn a lot about the meaning of responsibility, things which are getting lost. Well, we've had several. I think one of the best was Dr. Ruth Indera from Jakarta. And Ruth went with us for an entire cycle. And she was doing clinic on the islands, but her main job was teaching the traditional midwives, the bidan, teaching with the health workers and that. She was just wonderful. We had a great good time. It's hard. She's a doctor and she has her own clinic in Jakarta. So she can't sneak away every year. She has to be serious sometimes.
But your short planning is to the south area, is like Thailand, after Singapore.
Well, after Singapore, we go north to Thailand.
And somewhere in Thailand.
We go to the boatyard. We finish the work on the boat, the painting and whatever work's needed, so we know that it's in good condition. And then we come back again, we start loading, and by the time we leave Jakarta, the boat is so full down below that we sleep outside. All of the cabins, all of the toilets, you can just get to the galley, the kitchen, the engine, and the navigation. And after our first 3 or 4 islands, then we start to get our cabins back.
So is estimate how long you're gonna spend in the short island?
We've been doing this for 12 years. Every year we spend roughly 2 weeks, one tide, in the boatyard. Every year. It's just like every year we sail roughly 7,500 miles. That's almost 15,000 kilometers. Either gathering supplies or delivering them to these very small islands. Keeps us quite busy.
Yeah.
But it's not, as I said, it's not a big organization or that. It's just a large group of friends.
Hey, by the way, I saw your 2 books. Is you write your journal?
Well, we wrote a book about what we do with Vega. There are also several other books about things that I've done in my life, which are a bit interesting.
So how many books you published?
4.
4 books.
And we've got another one, a cookbook on the Banda Islands, Maluku cuisine. We've got that all ready to go. And we're working on a photo book on the Banda Islands, photo history book. Because there are many, you can find a lot of very good material in Bahasa. There's some excellent historians who are now pushing the knowledge much further back than the Dutch occupation. Because the Dutch purposely suppressed a lot of the history of Indonesia and places like Banda. It didn't look good for them to tell the people back home that, wait, we just destroyed a culture that's been there for 12,000 years. That doesn't look very good. So they actually created an artificial history. But now archaeologists, historians, even geologists are contributing to a whole new range of information about Indonesia, the history of Indonesia, the depth of history of Indonesia. There's absolute concrete scientific proof that there were people building cultures here during the last ice age, when the Europeans were still running around living in caves with their rear ends hanging out. There's 35,000 years ago, they were building sailboats in this area, sailing boats, and there's absolute concrete proof without any shadow of a doubt. I'm not being like Van Daniken, this guy who talks about space people coming and all of this. No, this is archaeological evidence. This is, it's just concrete, scientifically proven. And more this is coming out now. This is coming up. This region, this whole region was actually one of the places where civilization spread from. They tried to say that it came from China coming this way, but actually the DNA studies done by Leeds University show it was the other way around, that it went the other way. China wasn't populated by people from Sundaland, but many of the southern parts, Malaysia, even parts of India in that, they have just absolutely positive DNA. The whole of the Pacific, all of the islands in the Pacific, Australia, the Aborigines from Australia came from this region. Sorry, it's just something that I find very fascinating. So, and you as an Indonesian should also find it very fascinating. It's your culture, it's your background. When people say, history started with the Dutch, you should go. When the Dutch were still trying to figure out how to make clothes,
That's a fact.
The Dutch were still living in caves and things like that when this area was very highly populated.
So by the way, in your opinion about Indonesian as a whole, what's your opinion? The people, the culture? You travel a lot in Indonesia. What is your opinion about the Indonesian people as
I find Indonesian people in general are marvelous. Marvelous. They're very friendly, very hospitable, very outgoing. There's a deep, wide depth of culture. And I'm not just speaking about places like Bali. You've got Flores. There's so many islands, and each of these big islands has its own very deep, very it's just traditional values that are still alive and still being maintained. And many of these go back just thousands and thousands of years. It's people more than anything else. Granted, Indonesia is big. There are some beautiful places here. For someone who lives on a boat, it's a paradise. You've got 17,500 islands. So you can pretty well just choose an island and go that way. And if there's people there, they're most likely going to be quite friendly. I mean, okay, between us, occasionally you meet some that aren't, but not very often. Especially in small places.
Which place you like most? Everywhere.
Well, we don't like the big cities. When we go to Jakarta, because we have many supporters there, and it's one of the places where we buy all of our obat, we buy things to deliver. And we do have some good friends there. But Jakarta, oof. That's last on my list. Big cities, they're big cities. You're not quite sure where you are except for the language. You could be in Europe or North America.